You're watching Channel 13, WTHR, Indianapolis. Now, with coverage you can count on, Bruce Kopp, Pat Carlini, and Chuck Lofton's SkyTrack weather forecast. This is Channel 13 Eyewitness News at noon.
Good afternoon and welcome to Channel 13 Eyewitness News at noon. I'm Bruce Kopp.
And I'm Pat Carlini. Our top story this noon, some of the late finishers in today's mini marathon are getting a cooling off from Mother Nature.
That's right. Chuck Lofton joins us now with the latest on what could be a stormy afternoon for central Indiana. Chuck?
Especially late this afternoon, Bruce. This is a live look from Chopper 13 at the finish line, and it seems like the elite got in before the rain, but the average folks like us, they got a little wet. We've had 2/100ths of an inch of rain downtown this morning, so not a lot, a little light rain, and actually probably helped cool some people off. Let's show you Doppler Plus radar on the 25-mile scan right now. And there's just light rain around the area currently. Now let's go out a little farther on our Doppler radar and show you that there have been some heavier amounts of rain near the airport. That would appear to be right around Nashville and then out towards Turkey Run. Now this is a look at the state, and you notice now there's a dry pocket or a dry slot of air moving in back of this. What's going to happen is it will see some rain during the next hour or so. Then it may stop for a while, for a few hours, and it looks like that we do have a risk then late this afternoon and tonight of some thunderstorms, and some of them could be strong, complete with high winds, lightning, hail, the whole ball of wax. That will be later on this afternoon. For right now, the here and now, looks like a little bit of light to moderate rain throughout the area. And again, we've only picked up 2/100ths of an inch. But it could be a very interesting late afternoon and tonight, and we'll have a complete look at the forecast for you, Bruce and Pat, in just a little bit.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks, Chuck.
Well, the Indianapolis 500 Festival Mini Marathon has a new record this noon, and now there are about 20,000 exhausted runners and walkers in the downtown area. Don Hine joins us from the start-finish line with the wrap-up of the official kickoff to a busy month of May. Don?
Pat, the winners have long finished here, but I'm not so sure that the people you're seeing right behind me here at about the 3-hour mark aren't the real winners. This is a personal thing at this point. Can I finish 13 miles? And this is just a great inspirational thing. But really, I think this is more of an event than it is a race. I think I can best illustrate that with the start, which we'll show you from the ground level and from Chopper 13. Wow, that's what it looks like when almost 20,000 people are trying to navigate a given amount of space going the same direction. Our Dave Calabro is amongst them, his survival to be chronicled at 6.
See you, Cafu.
As far as the race part is concerned, it was the Kenyans and then everybody else. At the finish line, it was Patrick Kiptoum. A Russian, Valentina Yagorova, was the women's winner.
This is the second time she runs here, and she's very glad that she was so successful.
And our Butch Martin from Fishers, who crossed the finish line in the wheelchair division.
I work for a living, and it's difficult for me to train, quite honestly. So, you know, I feel real good. These guys go to school. They go on scholarships. Their classes are geared around their training. So, kicking their butts about today, I feel pretty darn good about it, actually.
Yeah, Butch was referring to the University of Illinois team that he saw at the start-finish line. Kind of got him inspired today. Hey, the winners get $5,000, and the men's champion was off already to his next race about 10 minutes after he finished this thing. So he's in it for the money. The rest of it are in for fun.
All right. Thank you, Don.
Well, if you weren't running or walking in the mini marathon, then getting around in downtown Indianapolis was and, in fact, still is difficult. Paul Casey joins us from Chopper 13 with the latest on some street closings in the downtown area. Paul?
Yeah, Don was referring to fun. We're not sure how much fun the folks are having who are still, well, the race was over almost 2 hours ago as far as the winter is concerned. We still have probably several thousand people on the race course. They have opened up everything maybe west of King Street, but you're looking at Michigan Street right now. Michigan Street is closed between King and White River. Then we've got 2 lanes open on White River, and of course the finish line over around Michigan and Meridian Street is still closed. Now I believe they plan on reopening most of this stuff around 12:30 this afternoon, but you should know if you're headed to the downtown area that a lot of folks who ran in this race and who are still on the course are being picked up by folks who are now clogging a lot of the streets downtown. 10th Street was very heavy. Capital and Pennsylvania extremely heavy. In fact, it looked like gridlock in a lot of places. So certainly be aware of that if you're headed to the downtown area. Probably within the next hour or so, it's going to be like this. But right now, they're not running. They are walking to the finish line. Bruce?
Yeah, and understandably so. Paul, thanks very much.
Well, tonight is prom night for many area students. In Madison County, one prom will be controversial as well as memorable. The controversy centers around Alexandria Monroe High School senior Jacob Eiler. Eiler is gay. His male date will wear a tuxedo.
And seeing two guys at a prom together is, you're right, definitely not normal. But it's normal to me to be with a guy. And I think that, you know, if that's normal to me and I want to go to prom, then who should be there to stop me from going to prom?
Jacob says somebody's already tried to intimidate him. Someone has slashed the tires on his car and scraped some paint off of his vehicle.
A Muncie teenager will spend 8 years behind bars for his role in what prosecutors call a deadly case of road rage. Police say Benjamin Donati and another teen were drag racing in January after one allegedly cut the other off in traffic. One of the cars slammed head-on into a third vehicle, killing a Ball State student. Donati pled guilty last month to charges of reckless homicide. Donati's license was also suspended for 5 years.
The suspect in the Ennis Cosby murder may have an alibi. 2 Los Angeles TV stations are reporting that a young man serving time with the California Youth Authority claims he was with Michael Markosev in Mexico on the night of the murder. 2 public defenders were appointed to represent the 18-year-old Markosev. His arraignment has been delayed until May 13th to give them time to prepare. JonBenet Ramsey's parents have spoken out about her murder and the police investigation. In an appearance before a small group of local reporters in Colorado, John and Patsy Ramsey flatly denied killing their 6-year-old daughter. Kelly O'Donnell has more.
Living under suspicion for 4 months since their daughter's murder, John and Patsy Ramsey broke their silence and tried to repair their name.
I did not kill my daughter, JonBenet. There have also been innuendos that she has been or was sexually molested. I can tell you those were the most hurtful innuendos to us as a family. They are totally false.
Let me assure you that I did not kill JonBenet. I did not have anything to do with it. I love that child with my whole of my heart and soul.
The Ramseys engineered their first press conference, picking 6 local reporters, limiting questions, and refusing to talk about what happened the day of the murder.
Very hard.
John Ramsey attempted to explain why they waited 4 months before giving police formal taped interviews this week.
We accepted being suspects. What concerned us is that any time spent looking at us is time that's wasted.
6-year-old JonBenet was found dead inside her parents' home the day after Christmas. Her father found her body in the basement. Police still want to identify the writer of the ransom note. John Ramsey has been eliminated. Patsy Ramsey has been asked by police for a 5th writing sample.
We feel like there are at least 2 people on the face of this earth that know who did this, and that is the killer and someone that that person may have confided in.
An arrest must be made for us to go on with some semblance of a life and hope for the future.
Police have not commented on the Ramseys' TV appearance, but a source close to the case told NBC News the direction of the investigation has not changed. An arrest is not imminent, and police are satisfied with their 8 hours of interrogation. Kelly O'Donnell, NBC News, Denver.
Now, Patsy Ramsey also told reporters that the images of JonBenet in makeup and glittery dresses do not bother her, but says they are beautiful, and she's glad to have those memories.
The unemployment rate in Indiana is up slightly from month to month, but it is still much lower than it was a year ago. March's jobless rate rose to 3.2%. That's up slightly from 2.9% in February. The good news is it's a full percentage point below March of 1996 rate of 4.4%. As for the national unemployment rate for March of 1997, it was 5.2%.
Well, we have much more news ahead for you on Channel 13 Eyewitness News at noon. Eating disorders are a major problem on college campuses across the country. At 12:20, our HealthCast will tell you what schools are doing to cut down on the problem.
Also ahead, research suggests the 7-year itch should actually be called the 20-year itch. At 25 after the hour, we'll have the latest research on when marriages head on a downward trend.
And coming up in our second half hour, what's the biggest mistake people make when planning their summer vacation? At about 12:43, we'll tell you how to plan the perfect summer getaway.
But up next, it could be another stormy afternoon for central Indiana. Chuck Lofton, SkyTrack 13 forecast will have the latest when Eyewitness News at noon continues.
Mom, this ward is getting awful. Today, Kathy didn't even want to shake my hand.
No problem. I know just what you need.
Get the new pad from Compound W that powers away warts. It's easy to use, just one step every 2 days. The pad protects, conceals, and helps prevent spreading of infection, while the strongest allowable wart fighters you can buy melt the wart away.
Cool! I can show my hand again.
The new one-step pad from Compound W that powers away warts.
Let's see what your mom's making for lunch. All right. Sandwiches. What kind? Ham. What with? Cheese and lettuce. And Miracle Whip? No. Oh, I think my mom's calling me. Wait.
Don't forget that Tangy Zip. That Miracle Whip. Oh, mommy. Don't skip the zip.
I love coffee, don't you? But look how it stains your teeth.
Get Plus White toothpaste with dual-action anti-stain polishers.
Plus White removes coffee stains fast.
Guaranteed.
If you have wrinkles and puffiness under your eyes, I recommend Sudden Change Under Eye. Look, before sudden change and after. Sudden change under eye.
Now do away with razors, cuts, and stubble. The Hair Off Mitten with its special Silcoat surface that massages away hair fast and easy. The Hair Off Mitten, amazing.
Now, Chuck Lofton's SkyTrack weather forecast, approved by the National Weather Association.
What we're getting right now is just a preview of things to come. Kind of wet out there.
Sounds like it, yeah. And as you mentioned this morning, most of the runners made it through all right before the rain hit.
The elite were able to cross the line before the rain came, so they're just fine in the hotels downtown.
Chuck and I were applauding all the walkers as they went.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's our crowd.
That's our
Way to
crowd
go.
right there, you know. And in fact, we're going to show you our crowd in just a moment. And I don't think they're real happy at this point, but a lot to talk about as we head into this big weekend in Indianapolis. Good afternoon. We are very thankful that most folks got in from the Mini without getting real wet. We do want to show you Doppler Plus radar from Eyewitness News. We've only picked up light rain for the most part, and it has almost stopped downtown. Still some rain around Mooresville, Danville, and then up through Carmel, Cicero, Arcadia, Fishers, and over to Pendleton. Now let's show you our crowd. There they are. You know, this started out so nice 13 miles ago. The sun was actually peeking out. People were clapping. Now you're walking. It looks like the Bataan March out there with the rain falling, and they're almost there to the finish line. So more power to them. And I'll tell you, that is a great achievement to be able to finish that thing, especially in the rain. 53 and raining at the airport with the winds out of the southeast at 17 and the barometer falling at 29.77. And the forecast for today, some thunderstorms very late this afternoon, a little bit of rain in between now and then. Well, we are, again, thankful that we got a lot of the race in before the rain moved in. It did hold off for some time, didn't really start raining in earnest till about 11:30 here in downtown Indianapolis. Just a few minutes after it started raining, the Weather Service at 11:50 issued a statement today calling for a risk of severe thunderstorms late this afternoon and tonight, complete with winds and lightning and possibly heavy rain, which means you're looking at possibly the evening rush hour. But what about tomorrow? The Motor Speedway opens up for practice. As it looks right now for the opening of the Speedway, we'll see some rain early in the morning, then that will move out, and we could actually see a little bit of sun in the afternoon. Here's the here and now with heavier rain up to the north and some thunderstorms right now right around Rockport and Tell City. In the meantime, once this band of rain moves out, it looks like we're going to be in some pretty decent shape for at least a few hours. This rain is very, very light here, but here's the heavier stuff now from northern Missouri all the way down into the southern part of Missouri. This is an association with a frontal system, and what we're going to see now throughout the next few hours is the warmer air surging ahead of the cold front. A very similar situation to Wednesday. The only difference, and it is a big one, are temperatures. We got up to 81 on Wednesday. We're not going to get that hot, surely, today, only into the 60s. But you can see the cloud cover overhead. And again, because of the timing of the front slamming into that warm and somewhat muggier air mass, we'll call for the risk of severe weather, and I'd call it a moderate risk, from late this afternoon through tonight. So you may want to keep that in the back of your mind if you've got some plans this evening. Here's what's going to happen as this warm front moves, the cold front moves in, powered by a pretty intense low, though again, not as intense, this low pressure cell, as the one was on Wednesday, but you don't want to take anything away from a storm this time of year. The components certainly are there late this afternoon and tonight for some nasty weather. Now, my forecast for today, we'll still see some rain later in the day. The thunderstorms kick in, 65. We might get that warm. Then tonight, look for some showers and thunderstorms. I think, and I'm going to talk more about this in a few minutes, it's possible we could get an inch of rain. 50 degrees will be our low. And then tomorrow, look for rain in the morning. We may see some gradual clearing in the afternoon as we open up the Motor Speedway. 58 degrees. My extended forecast, Sunday 60, Monday 61, Tuesday and Wednesday back warm again. And for those of you making the trip to the 123rd Run for the Roses in Louisville, looks like the rain will be out of there by post time, and they'll have some sunshine and probably 65 for the running of the Kentucky Derby, but a very muddy track in Louisville.
A little mud, though, it sounds like. All right. Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck. Coming up next year on Eyewitness News at noon, a trip down the cereal aisle may do a lot for your health. Our HealthCast will tell you why a bowl of cereal a day might keep the doctor away.
Also ahead, college campuses across the country are finding ways to fight eating disorders among their students. We'll have the story when Eyewitness News at noon continues.
Tonight at 6 on Eyewitness News. You want your lawn, golf course green, but what about the chemicals? Are they safe?
And you don't want your dog or children, pets playing on the lawn.
Eyewitness News shows you what you need to know to protect your family and pets. And does the grass always seem greener on the other side?
Some of these products, if not used properly, will damage your grass.
We'll give you professional tips on how to get a lawn that'll make your neighbors green with envy. It's coverage you can count on. Tonight at 6 on Eyewitness News.
Bullock Furniture and Action by Lane have joined forces to save you from 30 to 50% on every reclining sofa, love seat, sectional, and sleeper we have. Huge factory authorized discounts. The lowest prices ever. All lane recliners are 2 for 1. All lane recliners are 2 for 1. 2 great recliners from Bullock's for 1 low sale price. No payments and no interest for 6 months. Recline now, pay nothing for 6 months. Only at all 3 Bullock Fine Furniture stores. If you want to recline, make sure it's a lane. If you want to save money, be sure to go to Bullock's.
It's tempting to believe that things used to be better than they are today. Television was funnier, neighbors were friendlier, and nothing compared to homemade ice cream. At Homemade Brand, we make it with the same good stuff you would. Fresh cream, real vanilla, and great big chunks of cookies, fruit, and nuts for more of that rich ice cream flavor. Because as you already know, nothing tastes better than homemade.
It's a clean, fresh beginning. FDS Natural Baking Soda absorbs odor and moisture simply and effectively with a unique time-release formula. 1 gentle spray of FDS on yourself, your panty liners, pantyhose, or underwear, and you'll feel clean and fresh. And FDS Natural Baking Soda is clinically proven safe and hypoallergenic. Start clean, stay fresh. FDS Natural Baking Soda.
Accessories help me survive many an episode. But now it's time to fire my vehicle into the 21st century with Z-Mart accessories.
Right now, save up to 15% on all Z-Mart truck and van accessories, like a power sunroof, window tint, custom designer board, spray-on bed liner, tonneau covers, trailer hitches, grill guards, bug deflectors, tail shades, and more.
For guaranteed quality, service, and selection, Z-Mart. For over 35 years, survival gear for cars.
Now, with the latest medical breakthroughs and information, this is Eyewitness News HealthCast.
Topping our HealthCast this noon, a bowl of cold cereal in the morning can go a long way toward warding off adult-onset diabetes. Since 1986, researchers have tracked the diets of more than 65,000 women between the ages of 40 and 65. Within 6 years, more than 900 of them were diagnosed with diabetes. When researchers compared the diets of these women to those who had not developed diabetes, they found that non-diabetics generally consumed more fiber, and they ate substantially more fiber from cereal, particularly cold breakfast cereal.
Eating disorders have become a major problem on college campuses. You may not know it, but many schools ask students who are recovering from eating disorders to counsel other students. But as Elizabeth Cohen reports, a new study shows that these programs might do more harm than good.
It sounds like a great idea. The University of Maryland asked Adrienne Rubin, a senior, to tell her story to other students. Adrienne's a recovering bulimic. From age 16 until about a year ago, she tried to lose weight by forcing herself to throw up.
So one day I went downstairs and I ate my dinner, and I went upstairs and I got rid of it. And I went back downstairs again and I ate again. And this became a pattern. And I would go upstairs after every meal and I would get rid of every ounce of food I had in my body.
Do peer counseling programs like this one work? Psychologist Tracy Mann did a study to find out.
From my study, it seemed that the program is not working at all. And in fact, the program might even be making things worse.
Mann studied 800 freshman females at Stanford University. She sent half of them to a peer-led presentation like the one at the University of Maryland. 12 weeks later, she reevaluated the students. The ones who had attended the program actually had slightly more symptoms of eating disorders than the ones who hadn't seen the presentation. Part of the problem, Mann says, is the peer counselors themselves.
Here they are, looking thin and really attractive. I think in the end, students want to be like them, and the way to be like them is to have an eating disorder.
Mann says the peer counselors may make eating disorders sound horrifying, but what's more important is how they appear. Slim, attractive, well-spoken. And Mann's study points out another potential problem. This audience is large and diverse. Some students here probably have eating disorders already, and some don't, yet they all hear the same presentation. Patricia Preston, a university social worker, defends the program.
I see every week students coming in who say, I came in because I saw a peer presentation.
She says no matter what problems there might be with peer counselors, students always learn better from someone their own age, from someone who's been there. Elizabeth Cohen, CNN reporting.
Well, still to come on Channel 13 Eyewitness News at noon, several couples from the Indianapolis area are taking the ultimate plunge today. We'll talk live via satellite with one couple about the ride of their life.
And coming up in our second half hour, Mr. Food shows you how to satisfy your sweet tooth this weekend. Get your pen and paper ready to jot down the recipe for Heath Bar Cheesecake. Still ahead here on Eyewitness News at noon.
Some pharmacies tell you they care about your health. But when you look at all they sell, it makes you wonder. Now at the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, our pharmacists are 100% dedicated to your well-being. If it isn't good for you, we don't carry it. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, the pharmacy that's all about your health.
Get the personal attention you deserve. Find out how to choose a pharmacist that's right for you at the Medicine Shop and get your choice of one of these pain relievers free.
NBC Tonight. They stalked her, knew everything about her, even threatened her life, and they did it all with a computer. Cyber stalkers, what you need to know, all new unsolved mysteries. Then, they have one thing in common. They're beautiful. A behind-the-scenes preview. People Magazine's 50 Most Beautiful People. A Dateline exclusive. Finally, what sins of a community leader
He's too good for the people.
Could fuel the flames of emotion.
No, no, no!
To an unthinkable act. All new Homicide. NBC Tonight.
When you have a wound that won't heal, you'll try just about anything. But the best thing you can do is to go to the specialist, the Wound Care Center. They use advanced techniques and therapies. They've treated thousands of people across the country. Treating wounds is all they do. That's why they're the leader in wound care management. When you have a wound that won't heal, you deserve the best possible care. Call the Wound Care Center today.
1-800-507-3375. Congratulations to Airtron Heating and Cooling and B-Dry Systems, recipients of the first annual Better Business Bureau Quality Awards. These companies were recognized for their outstanding customer service and workmanship. Call for entries for the second annual BBB Quality Awards will take place in March. Don't miss this opportunity to let your company shine. For more information, call the Better Business Bureau at 488-2221. The Better Business Bureau, consumers and business working together.
Well, does marriage get better with time? Well, the answer is yes, for some, provided they last longer than 20 years. Recent research finds after the first glow wears off, marital satisfaction begins a downward trend, reaching its lowest point at the 20-year mark. That's when thoughts of divorce peak, even among couples who don't actually go through with it. Then the curve turns upward. Researchers believe that's when parental responsibilities and economic anxieties tend to diminish. Couples who are under less pressure have much more time for each other, and those often rediscover the joys of marriage. Well, marriage could also be called the ultimate plunge, but imagine taking your vows while on a thrill ride called the ultimate plunge.
Well, that's just what 144 couples from around the Midwest, including 5 couples from central Indiana, did just that today. It happened at Six Flags Great America in Gurnee, Illinois. That's just north of Chicago. Joining us live via satellite from Six Flags Great America in Gurnee is a couple from Frankfort, Rich and Melissa Anderson, along with Reverend Cliff Herring, who married you. Congratulations. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, so Rich and Melissa, what's your reaction to how the ceremony went this morning?
It was great.
Was it? How would you describe the ride? Not just marriage, but the ultimate plunge itself.
Well, I'm really scared of heights, but I thought it was awesome. It was great.
That is very daring of you. You're afraid of heights and you went on this ride?
Yeah, I told him I love him and I would do anything for him, and this is just one of those things, I guess.
Oh boy, now you'll watch what you say in the future, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know I read a little bit about the ride itself. Is it called Giant Drop?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and this is the one that, does it even have twists and turns, or does it simply drop?
No, it takes you straight up, and the bottom just drops out from underneath of you.
Wow, so your feet are kind of dangling and free in the air.
Yeah,
we're watching some video.
It actually lifted me up off the seat.
All right, so here's the ride, and we can see you going all the way to the top of this tower.